Years ago, I was lucky enough to go with a bunch of high school seniors to Oberammergau in Germany to witness the Passion Play. It's a day-long drama which depicts for us very graphically the Passion narrative which we just heard from Luke. Of course, most people can't have that experience. We have the Stations of the Cross in our churches to help us visualize what Jesus went through at the end of his life. But the problem with both the play and the Stations of the Cross, the Way of the Cross, is that it tends to concentrate on the historical events of Jesus' Passion, which are certainly important, and we should ponder them. But what we have to keep remembering is that the Passion of Jesus, the suffering and his death, is an ongoing experience for him. Just as the creation didn't happen billions of years ago and that's the end of it, the creation is an ongoing event. God is keeping all things alive and bringing them into existence always. The Passion of Jesus, his entering into the human family, is not an historical event of the past. It's an ongoing event in the present. God in Christ is still a human being in glory, but living the same life he lived on earth in union with his brothers and sisters, with us. We highlight that especially at the time of baptism. We are told that when we go down into the tomb with Jesus under the water and rise up, he is living his life within us. When we approach the table of the Eucharist and break the bread and pour out the wine, we believe that we are entering into the death and resurrection of Jesus today, even though it happened to him centuries ago. Jesus is alive and well with his Father, but he is not alive and well with his brothers and sisters. If we never had an experience of Oberammergau or never able to make the Way of the Cross, we could do so every day by reading the daily paper or watching the evening news, because the brothers and sisters of Jesus are suffering death, torture, and death all over the planet. Any city you want to name, starting with Jerusalem, especially the West Bank, and all the other cities of the world where brothers and sisters are destroying each other, torturing each other, depriving each other of a form of life which God wills for us. So the Passion is not an event of the past. It's something which Christ is living through today through us. It's interesting that in Luke's account, Jesus is on the way after being tortured to being killed, and he stops to talk with people who are suffering, the women of Jerusalem. In the other accounts, he talks to his mother and to John. Even though he was suffering himself, he was still looking out for the well-being of his brothers and sisters who all share with him the same Father. And that's the life that we have to keep living. We have to let him keep living his suffering in us, because we do have suffering experiences in life, and since we are in union with him, they are his sufferings as well. But we cannot let the sufferings and death experiences that we have let our self-centeredness take supremacy. We have to keep reaching out to others even as we endure life, so that the mystery of God's love will continue to be portrayed in the world through us, through Christ in us, just as it was in those few years when he walked among us visibly. So this week that we're entering into is not a journey into ancient history. It's a period of pondering so that we come to the realization that what is happening among us is the love of God experienced in the suffering and death of our brothers and sisters, and being accepted by God in Christ as a saving resurrection experience. We can't live in the past. It's impossible, really. We must live in the present, and Christ is suffering in our midst, and we must do what he did alleviate the suffering of our brothers and sisters to the extent that we are able.